All right, so I've written a monologue.
Having
And
to do with the Sakura tree.
yeah, I think it'll become clear what this has to do with. It'll become very clear by the end.
Community and rebirth.
Community and rebirth. Hello, my name is Kenneth Edwards, and I'm lodging a complaint against the Nestle Candy Company. On June 1st of this year, I attended a Nestle Candy Factory, and it was by far the worst experience of my life because, and I say this with no exaggeration, I fell into every single one of the machines. That's right, 10 seconds into the tour, my group passed by an industrial-sized vat of Laffy Taffy, and our tour guide, Ronald, said, "Wouldn't you love to take a dip in there?" Everyone laughed, but I yelled, "Yes," and did a swan dive over the railing. I mean, how was I supposed to know he was joking? I'm a literal person. I saw it as an open invitation. I landed, and guess what? Turns out you can't swim in taffy, okay? It's nothing like water. Thinking the Laffy Taffy would behave like a trampoline, I began jumping up and down to escape. I then realized it was more like quicksand, and I sank until I was stuck up to my neck. Ronald tried to get me out by yanking on my hair, tying a rope around my head and pulling, and by sucking me up through a big straw, all of which were very painful. Then he finally said, "You're gonna have to eat your way out." So I did. But I didn't enjoy it like you might think. I was ready to call it quits right there, but Ronald assured me that nothing like that would happen again. So imagine my surprise when not 5 minutes later, I topple ass backwards into the pixie stick filling machine. Ronald showed it to us and said, "Wish that thing would pump directly into my mouth." I shouted, "Me too," and did a swan dive over the railing. Before I know it, I turned upside down in the air, land, and then my butt is being pumped full of powdered sugar. And I don't know what setting the machine was on, but it felt like a lot more sugar than what's in a normal pixie stick. All right? Ronald claimed he was just joking, or it was just being funny. I looked him right in the eye in front of the whole group and said, "You think it's funny my ass is full of sugar, Ronald? Please tell me, Ronald, what's so funny about my ass being as sweet as can be?" It wasn't funny. Ronald promised me he'd watch his wording, but needless to say, almost immediately, I found myself in the center of the oven used to melt the chocolate for Raisinets. Ronald referred to the oven as the Nestle sauna. Then he had the nerve to say no one has ever believed that was true before. It burned me bad, and I still have a milk chocolate coating on my legs. After that, I said, "Can I wash up in the bathroom?" He said, "Sure." So I stumbled around trying to find the bathroom, and I found a sign that said 100 grand. I assumed it was the bathroom because I thought that's how much a toilet costs. Turns out, this was the guillotine used to separate 100 grand.
I'm sorry. I need to keep.
Now I wasn't injured, but the guillotine did cut the front half of my shirt and pants off. So now I was naked. Nips and balls out on the factory floor. Then I got sucked into the sweet tart packaging station, rolled up into a tight plastic sheet. Unable to break free, I was then catapulted into the nerd sorting machine. And of course, being larger than a nerd, I clogged the line. And guess where all the nerds behind me went? Straight up my ass! When I walk, you can hear the nerds rattle around in my stomach. I want Ronald fired. And also, I never got the complimentary Baby Ruth bar you're supposed to get at the end of the tour.
Hey, what's happening? Jubilee, homeboy. This is the Lord Side G. Putting it down for JC. Puro Jesucristo que no más. Seeing everybody